welcome once again to Perspectives. Quick reminder, your comments unfortunately will not be able to be included because I'm not live today, but your feedback will be included in later shows. Your feedback is important. These shows are not about me. They're not really, no offense to my guests, but not really about the guests either. They're about you. They're about you, the millions and the billions and the gazillions out there who watch and form opinions. We have these discussions so we can give you information, ideas, new thoughts. But it's up to you to take decisions and create opinions from those thoughts. And those opinions form the majority, and the majority determines the future of the country. I'm invoking this because just a few minutes ago, before we started recording, I was talking to one of my guests, and we had a difference of opinion about something he had done. I felt it's not so good, and he said, masses, they like it. What do you care? Who are you? So that's okay, fine. And my other friend, I will introduce in a moment, said elitism is underrated. I fully agree. Elitism is underrated. But elitism is not what the word is usually understood as. It's not humiliating others. It's not looking down upon others. It's not disregarding others. It just means you're maybe tuned to better things, different things, larger things. Maybe you have opinions which are wider, which are bigger. But if you're snooty, if you're ill-behaved, that's a bad thing. So I'm just saying this because I don't want any hate tweets from my friends. I'd like to introduce my guests. The topic is political, yet we do not have hardcore politicians, if I may say, but there are some politicians in our midst. On my far right, we have Mr. Bilawal Khoso, who is a student. And when I asked him earlier, what's his inclination, affiliation, he says, Pakistan. And I said, do you have any liking? And he said, liberals. I'll leave it at that. Bilawal, thank you very much for being here. But your name is very telling. Thanks for being here. A few days ago, we had a very young, bright, brilliant young man who is actually contesting NA 250, which is Karachi's hot seat, independent. And he has some fantastic things to say. Today, he's again with us. Jibran, thank you very much for being here. But not necessarily as somebody who's contesting, of course you are, but also as a young, brilliant.
Also from PS 130.
PS 130. So good luck on both of those. Another dear friend of mine, an activist, a blogger, a social influencer, Ms. Sabeen Mahmud. She is the Karta Dharta of T2F. Those who know her with that reference, Sabeen, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
On my left, again, a very dear friend, though he and I are poles apart in inclinations, affiliations, love, and political romance. Salman Ahmed, thank you very much, Salman, for being here. And my far left, we have Ms. Faiza Khalil, who was again here just the other day, and I think she has young, new, intelligent opinions to give, though she's technically representing Jamat-e-Islami. Faiza, thank you very much for being here. Salman, I'd like to open with you, since you are very vocal, gung-ho, going all out, defending PTI. Why?
I think it's a mischaracterization. Your question is a mischaracterization.
The second time I've been accused of that.
I'm not defending anyone, actually. I am for a new Pakistan.
Okay.
I am for tolerance. I am for debate. I am for compassion. And I am for education. It so happens that in these times, 2013, we have a social political revolution going on in the country.
All right.
And I just want to tell our listeners and viewers that I've been living in the States for the last 11 years. Now, I've seen 3 elections take place in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
In 2008, I saw Obama win primarily because of 2 reasons. One, that the populace was sick of George Bush. And secondly, the youth of the country had woken up to go out and vote for the first time. And who had awakened the youth were the artists. Bruce Springsteen,
Fair point.
Oprah Winfrey,
Sure.
Will.i.am. So point is, I'm not defending some political party. I'm for change. Basically, I'm massively for change.
So which basically means there is a problem, which you want changed.
Absolutely. There's a huge problem. There's problems culturally, politically, religiously. In every walk of life in Pakistan, there are huge problems. Our friends, we had a conversation earlier on. The two of them are lawyers, and they're telling me about the kind of legal practices they do and the issues with that. So Pakistan is a land of opportunity. In China, the word for crisis has two characters: danger and opportunity. So those things are very pertinent to what we have in Pakistan. There is both danger, but there's great opportunities as well.
Okay. Faiza, Salman says there's culturally, politically, religiously things are going wrong. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree that there are so many things going wrong here, and a lot of change should be done here. But the main way where the change could be brought in the society or system is to hold elections fairly, properly, and to bring the true leadership from the grassroots. And the Jamat-e-Islami has been in the mainstream politics in Pakistan since from the very establishment of Pakistan. The 1951, where Jamat-e-Islami worked for the inclusion of objective resolution in our, through a constituent assembly in our constitution, very first constitution. Then we worked for the to make the preamble of the constitution, that is objective resolution, to become a substantive part of the constitution, that is the Article 2A of the constitution. Then comes the practical achievements of Jamaat-e-Islami, where Abdul Sattar Afghani had been working as a mayor of Karachi, and a lot of achievements at his side.
Then Mr. Nematullah Khan, of
then
course.
Nematullah Khan, then the government of MMA, especially in the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where so many achievements have been done on behalf of MMA, and so many development has been done. For example, the first university for ladies has been established in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa by the MMA government. So there has been a lot of work done by the Jamaat.
I'd like to ask you another question. Then where is the problem? When you say culturally, politically, religiously, as Salman says, that things are going wrong, then, but so much great work was done in the past, and what went wrong?
So much
the bad seeds were sown?
has been done, but it was done in a small part of the country, or in just a few places in the country. But basically the issue is the main policies, where the main policies are designed, where the main policies are developed, that is
by other people.
The parliament, the legislature, that has been, that remains under the very influence of the outsiders, the foreign.
Okay, then a very quick question. Then it would be fair to say that the nation did not really give you a clear mandate. Why is that?
I think the elections in Pakistan have never been held very fairly and properly. So we could say that the leadership which came about was not from the very grassroots, or was not the real representation from the government, I think. So they were unable to legislate or to develop.
But my question was, the people of Pakistan did not give you, I'm not saying Jamaat-e-Islami, did not give the right-wing parties or the ideological party, because the others as well, a clear, clean mandate. Is that true?
They did give mandate to some parties, but what I mean to say here, that besides that, the elections were not, since it was not held properly or fairly, the real leadership was not brought about.
Okay, so you're saying the elections were unfair?
Yes.
All right, fine. Okay. At this juncture, I'd like to take a quick short break. We'll be right back. Another friend of mine, a very vocal young lady who is a blogger, again, an activist. She's going to be joining us in a moment. Let's take a very short break. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Perspectives. Salman made a point that culturally, politically, religiously, there's something going very wrong with us. Ms. Faiza sort of agreed with him, but she said that Jamaat-e-Islami did a lot of good work. My question to her was, and the nation give her a clear mandate, give the religious parties a clear mandate, and she felt no, because the elections in the past have not been free and fair. My dear friend Samra Muslim has also joined us. Samra, thank you very much for being here. Do you agree, Samra, that it was because of the elections that the right-wing parties did not get a clear mandate and they could not legislate for us? And you also agree, as Salman said, that everything is going wrong in Pakistan culturally, politically, religiously, but he says there's great opportunity.
Yeah, I think that is one of the factors that we've sort of been agreeing upon for the longest time, that, it's a land of opportunities. Every particular corner that you go into, all you see around you is like a potential to do some good, make some money, make a difference, like whatever, whichever arena we go and look into. Yeah, there is opportunity. But yeah, there are hurdles as well, because sometimes there's a political situation, like a rally sort of stopping you or something from just getting to work on time, or there's
or
something
get to the studio late.
Or get to the studio late. Apologies. But
no, it was a rally.
Yeah, it was
Point
a
in
rally.
contest, yeah.
But like, it is just like you have the will, you have the desire, and you want to do something. And there's like 100%, all the resources are placed in the right place. But then all of a sudden, 2 days of work just go away, wham. And then you are just like, how am I supposed to deliver on like a certain deadline, which I want to, and everything, all the pieces are there, but I don't have that time to do that because something else is stopping me.
Okay, so there are hindrances, I understand, but Salman says, New Pakistan, he openly is supporting PTI, but he says, I'm supporting change.
Okay.
Not necessarily PTI,
Okay.
which is fair. But when I asked him, so when you say New Pakistan change, and is something wrong, to which he said, everything is wrong. Do you agree that everything is wrong?
Well, I don't think everything's wrong.
I didn't say everything's wrong. I said
Well,
politically,
I can rewind.
culturally, religiously.
You said everything is wrong, politically, religiously, and culturally.
And I can give you statistics for that.
Well, that's fine.
I can give you statistics, but I don't want to cut into your response.
Everything is a really wide open word, right? I mean, you can't.
Yeah, it's like a blanket
I mean, of
statement.
course, people will say, "Oh, everyone said that they liked this film," or "Everyone loved this song," or this
it's a
word is
blanket-
just used very loosely.
Yeah.
Okay, but the forces of change, and I'm not taking any names because various forces of change, are basically implying that it is just an absolute loss. And if you don't grab onto this opportunity of change, the game's over. How do you feel about that?
Again, I think that's a fairly extreme view, and there are
But that's what
pockets.
they're selling.
Sure, but there are pockets of good work and hope and exciting things happening all over the country, right? And we have to have a slightly more nuanced perspective about this. In general, we've had a leadership vacuum in this country since its inception, and I think we've lacked role models. We've lacked the story, and the big idea.
But
And
with
there's a lot
apologies,
of
I'd like to interject. With that line, I also have a bit of a problem because that really implies that we're terribly mediocre. We're not creating heroes. We're not creating role models.
We
we're
are
not creating
rather
leaders.
mediocre. We
What?
are mediocre.
We are mediocre. Come
No, we're
on.
not mediocre.
I mean,
Oh, we're all right with mediocrity.
Okay.
In the professional world, I mean,
This is the country which has produced amazing artists, sports. Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, people like Peter Gabriel.
of course we have
Eddie-
icons. I'm not denying that we
but,
have
but,
some
I'm just
amazing
answering it. You're saying that we are mediocres. I mean, that's what I got from
okay.
you.
So let me
We
let
have
me rephrase.
extreme high achievers in this country. Extreme high achievers in this country in the all areas.
Oh, absolutely.
Medicine,
In sports,
science,
in
teaching,
in,
education.
Absolutely.
But Sabeen,
The only place there has been massive mediocrity
Politics.
is politics and the establishment. So one of the reasons I guess I'm openly
can you
supporting
define establishment?
Imran Khan.
What does establishment
Establishment
mean?
is because you had military dictatorship or quasi democracy, right?
Right. When you say there's mediocrity in
Meaning
establishment, what is
whoever- okay,
establishment?
let me put it very simply.
think
Whether it's been a
establishment is
military
very
dictator, whether it's been a military dictator or a elected
Military dictator.
ठीक है, military dictator or whatever, you've had mediocres who've been in power. Now, this is a country with massive potential for excellence, but bad leadership has led to mediocrity.
Okay, but Sabeen's point was that we do accept mediocrity.
And because Samra was talking about the professional space, I
Sure.
was just following
Yeah.
up from there.
Jibran, you've rejected everyone. You've denounced everyone and said, I'm taking things in my own hand. I'm the candidate. I've got a manifesto. I'm going in. I'm just diving in, knowing very well that your chances of winning are very slim. I'm not discouraging you, but mathematics, arithmetic says you're in trouble. You're up against Arif Alvi PTI, Khushbu Shujat MQM, Mr. Rabbani, Pakistan People's Party, Mr. Nematullah Khan, Jamat-e-Islami, Mr. Tesori, JUI, you are PMLF. You're in trouble.
I would disagree. Probability would say that. Arithmetic
Right.
is an absolute statement. Before I come to the question, the topic of the show was that can we get along?
Absolutely.
I believe all six of us, including you, can get along right now because on the way here to the studio, Karachi was rocked by a series of bomb blasts.
Yeah.
And in the morning, a young kid from Hamza was shot.
Yeah.
So I believe we all can get along in condemning these acts, A, of terrorism, and B, the gun parade in our cities and the atmosphere of insecurity we have, that such murders, given Shahzeb Khan's recent murder and now Hamza's cold-blooded murder, may he rest in peace and condolences to the family.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Coming to your point of change, I believe first of all, no particular party has a copyright on the word change. And when we talk about change,
Yeah, but some can coin it. I mean,
there's a
Democrats
big
did
coin.
coin it
That's
in the
just
US.
the
Big
marketing
coin.
terminology.
Which is fair.
And Salman Saab said that, he is for change, he's not for a party.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to invite him to read my manifesto, and if he finds change in them, then I would like him to come to my rally and perform a song, perhaps not the one he sold the rights to PTI,
No,
but perhaps another one.
so time out again. I haven't sold out any. First of all, I don't
No,
know
let
why
me-
people say. No,
I'll come back to you.
because it's going to be television. Okay,
I'll come back to
Give me
you.
a chance to order. I haven't
But
sold
I
anything.
I just want to
haven't
go-
made any money. I am basically
You're a
a
rich
volunteer.
man.
I didn't want
I
to
am
come.
volunteer.
You're a rich
I didn't
man.
say I'm a volunteer.
So
Not
maybe
in my
you need
I
a
mean,
song.
I find it
Eventually-
when people say कि ये पैसा बनाने के
But
लिए
you're given moral rights. That's all right.
You get moral
moral
rights.
rights. I would go.
It's a
So let me
song.
add this to you. If your party, you're a party of one.
No, my party is my constituency. Every single voter in my constituency is my party.
So,
See,
so my party.
he's saying all the right things.
Look, my party is a party of one. It's called Junoon, right? So, fact is, if
Quick switch, huh?
if your manifesto is about change, and we see also that you have a track record of change, obviously you will have my support. That goes without. We can. So we can.
Wait. Where did the track record come from? Because those you're supporting don't have any track record.
Excuse me. I think
They're
Imran Khan.
they're selling,
I think Imran
they're selling
Khan.
pointers that we do not have a track
We are
record.
picking a captain for Pakistan, and Imran Khan has a track record
Okay.
of 30 years.
Okay, hold your peace. I'll come back to you. Let me just.
He's the captain of the chairman of the party.
Let me just take those few views and I'll come and then I'll open the forum for discussion. Please, Jibran.
Yeah,
Go on.
talking about
But why did you reject everyone? Please tell me that.
why did I reject everybody?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the parties who've tried and tested for a long time, who've been in power.
Sure.
Imran Khan, by the way, has been tested. 4 years in parliament. When you say he's not been tested, I disagree with that statement. I covered that in my previous program.
Yeah.
His votes for different policies. He was a big
You might want
supporter.
to re-mention.
He was a big supporter of the MMA in 2002. He voted for Maulana Fazlur Rahman as prime ministership. In 2006, he rejected the women's bill. He
rejected the
rejected. He opposed it. He said that I was against the Hudud ordinance. In 4 years, did not suggest a single amendment to the Hudud ordinance. 4 years in the parliament, and surprisingly, in the first 2 years, he was apparently the PM for the General Pervez Musharraf. In the last 2 years, he had troubles with him. And so, I mean, he was supporter of LFO as well, if I'm not wrong. If you see the track record, well, I see the person changing. I don't see a new change. Perhaps you're saying that the person's changing. And if I'm going to go by that theory, then I could expect President Rai to change. I can expect Mr. Al-Tawson to change.
Time out.
I can expect...
Hang on.
I
You
can
gotta hold your
expect
peace.
Mr.
You gotta hold your
Nawaz
peace.
to change. Because this is the person changing, his mind changing, not a new change coming in. Javed Hashmi. Has he not been in parliament? Shah Mahmud Qureshi. Has he not been in parliament? Kasuri Saab. Has he not been in parliament? More than half the electables right now getting tickets. Ayla Malik. Some other was thrown out recently, but a lot of them have been tried and tested. So what you're banking on right now is those people changing their spirit, those people changing their mind. This is not a new change. Sure. This is perhaps a repackaging. And we like that because in this country, good marketing sells. When we talk about change, well, you know what? I have not been in politics. I've never voted on anything. My manifesto is there. So in terms of, I think I can say that I'm for a new Pakistan. But if you're going to go by that theory, taking old politicians and rebranding them, then I believe, every party has a right to rebrand itself, and we should expect and hope that Nawaz Sharif, now if he becomes a prime minister, he would change, or if Jamat-e-Islami comes into power in the center, they would change, because that's how change seems to be happening here in this party.
So what you're saying is change. Anyone can change their mind as an added.
I mean, the way they're putting it forward
as
the
an
new
added
change,
as an added
I
says,
disagree with that.
Satan was once close to God. Maybe he's gone back that way. We're just working in his name.
But see,
So will I have a chance for rebuttal?
Absolutely,
or no?
but I have to take Bilawal's
Okay.
point down. Bilawal, in complete independent, but your name kind of puts you, on a side. How do you see all this?
I think we all can agree to disagree to some extent.
Sure.
Yeah. But like talking about the youth, like I am a part of the youth right now. So
Absolutely.
when I look into the youngsters of the society right now, I feel that there's a huge vacuum of the political upbringing of the youth in terms of
They've been depoliticized.
yeah.
Sure.
There was a time when student politics was like a symbol of great knowledge and people who had a great political background,
Yeah.
they were well studied. They used to come in student politics. But then came a time when एक ऐसा बंदा who can stand and use slang language and he can probably know how to.
It became a permit for misbehaving.
Exactly, that's my point. Then the student politics became something that was considered taboo for of the white collar people.
Sure.
Then people who were loyal to this country, they either started moving out of Pakistan or they started staying quiet. यार ये शरीफ बंदे का काम नहीं है politics.
Right.
So now we have come to a point where, with all due respect, I have huge support and huge respect for PTI, but I think their supporters are the least mannered supporters in Pakistan right now. But
That's not the leadership's fault. That's just the
but
people.
I would
vouch for that. I believe that's completely the leadership's fault. Today, the ECP took action against Mr. Imran Khan using
Exactly
personal remarks against the
Exactly
violation of ECP rules against Mr. Nawaz Sharif. The mudslinging happened at the top level. NA 250 is a constituency. I don't need to go into the media reports. The party is fighting amongst itself.
Okay, let me.
The shows are all
I'll open the forum in just one second.
I totally second him on that.
this is like my only what you can say shikayat from PTI. But I would also comment on the fact that they somehow managed to bring out those individuals from the drawing rooms who were least bothered about Pakistan. Those kids who never really bothered about politics, who were busy all the time watching MTV or playing games, they started taking interest in the politics. So I will comment that thing that they did manage to bring out some kids out of the drawing room, but in terms of their political education, their political maturity, I would give them 0 out of 10.
Okay, may I just, at the risk of really turning Salman against me completely, yes, you say that the PTI gets credit for that, but frankly, this is the first time there's such a huge generation of young people. They would have probably come out anyways to vote because things were, boiling in a certain way. So I don't know if you get that complete credit, but you're welcome to comment on that. You talked about the misbehaving. Sure, Mr. Imran Khan has had some issues with the speech, and the election commission is questioning him, but that still does not mean that the millions of followers start misbehaving, and you can't really peg it on the leader.
See, party discipline, the way the corruption policy works, the 90-day curbing politics is that we're going to make corruption at the top level go away.
Right.
By putting in nice, honest ministers, by
Which
putting
is fair.
in nice, honest bureaucrats. So if everything from the top is going to trickle down, well then ill discipline is also trickling down from the top, because, at the end of the day, if a supporter is going to follow his leader, and he sees his leader interact, like, Mia Saab jaan de ho, saadi wari aan de ho, or circus ke sher, comments like that.
There's Niche Balla, Upar Allah, or something like that.
These things are not, I say, worthy. As a cricket fan, I've got huge respect for the guy, but as a voter and a supporter, talking about political maturity, I have told you before, I was a PTI supporter and I got disillusioned because.
But I'm going to have to disagree. If you were contesting in NA1, you would have to say all those things to get mass appeal, as you talked about earlier. That's what the mass.
Let me correct you.
Let's just say what?
Sir, let me
The
correct you.
sentences they're
You're
saying-
talking about
What?
120, sir.
Well, they are crass sentences.
So, since I've listened very patiently to both of you,
And it took a lot of effort.
no, not at all. No.
I'm taking liberty
No,
because
please, वो कहते हैं ना कि if we're on television, so at least let's have an honest hearing.
Okay.
Now, PTI, first of all, Imran Khan, I would say he's never been in power. Zardari, Nawaz Sharif, Musharraf have been in power.
But he's
Let
comparing his tenure in the assembly.
me just finish.
But he's talking about his tenure in the assembly.
Point is, if you're he must have been in the opposition when he was in the assembly,
Yes.
right? So point is, as an opposition politician, you will criticize, but you don't have power to change policy.
I'll come to that.
Let me finish,
I'll come to
okay? Because there's a there's a laundry list that you presented, okay? So one is that
Dirty laundry.
he's never been in power. He's untried as a candidate, okay? He has worked 17 years now as a politician in which there is no accusation of impropriety, corruption within politics. ठीक है ना? Even his opposing, his political opponents will say he's not a corrupt man. Number one. But let me continue. I want to jump ahead first.
But you need to answer this one. If he did not have the power to make laws in the assembly, he also did not have the power to do anything wrong. That doesn't mean much. It's clean slate anyways.
No,
he was in the opposition.
If you run a political party,
let
me just finish one thing, because he said 3 or 4.
Yeah, because I kept telling him to wait. Please, Salman, go on.
So the first thing is there's no impropriety on him, which is revolutionary in Pakistani politics. To have a clean politician, untried. He is one of them. That's why a lot of youth are supporting him.
But at least
secondly, Imran Khan runs the only political party which has done intra-party elections.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
That is not true.
That's not
Jamat-e-Islami
is a religious-based party.
It doesn't matter. It's a political party.
It's a democratic religious party which holds election at every...
You can't even tell. You can't even...
Annual basis.
Are you
for each and every designation and for each and every shura.
Is Jamat-e-Islami, Faiza, contesting on all the seats all across Pakistan?
What does that matter?
How is that relevant?
Even PTI is not.
It's relevant because unlike MQM, which is a...
I'm
saying the difference between a national party and a regional party.
There is no precedent like Jamat-e-Islami
is a mega national party.
Intra-elections every year and every forum.
मैं फिर ये कहूँगा कि intra-party elections is a revolutionary step.
Faiza will interject again.
Saying that the chairman only has 2 terms.
We have a new Amir every year.
Saying the chairman has only 2 terms is a revolutionary step. Then, as opposed to these mainstream parties,
but you have to answer to her.
Let me first finish there and I'll go over there.
Right.
As opposed to the mainstream parties, PPP and PMLN, these are family-based parties, dynastic politics. PTI is a mainstream national Pakistani party which has not dynastic politics.
But MQM is not dynastic. Jamat-e-Islami is not dynastic.
MQM is a regional party.
Jamat-e-Islami is a party, not dynastic.
Let me finish the third point here. Third point is that people like myself are not looking for any money. You said, I sold the rights to my song.
No, I did not monetary terms. Please don't take me wrong. Not in monetary terms.
I don't think people will catch the nuance of what you're saying. We are
clarify, not in monetary terms. Not in monetary terms.
Pro bono, volunteering. I have been living in America for 11 years. Why have I come back? To look for a party ticket? No. To look for money? No.
But you got dual nationality, you can't get a party ticket.
I can give up my American
right.
Like that. And people have,
by
the way. I can do it in a second.
It's a personal problem.
The reason that we were on the roads today, there were bombs going off. We were on the roads.
Please don't make it sound like there were bombs going off, God forbid.
There were bombs going off.
There was a bomb, but...
Yeah, but it's not like bombs.
There were bullets going off. I was on the road to support a PTI candidate.
But you know what's funny?
Called Arsalan Ghumman, who's 27 years old.
But you know what's funny?
Youth. So what I'm saying is this is revolutionary.
But you know what's funny?
Imran Khan has given tickets to 27-year-olds.
But can I say what's
who live amongst the guard of MQM, but are contesting the seat.
That shows how much inexperienced youth is going to participate in the legislature.
Well, Wasim Akram was 19 years old. Imran Khan gave him a chance at 19 to become one of the greatest
cricket, not making laws.
Excuse me. Why would you?
Just like to correct you, see, because when we are on television, this is the one thing.
Okay, just for the record. Just for the record.
Just for the record.
I need to. Let's go one by one.
Anadi जो था, ये तालिबान खान, the dim. ये किसने शुरू किया था मुझे बताया ना ये पीपीपी और पीएमएल ने शुरू किया था कि नहीं
but what I'm saying is
that on the one hand
Salman, you're talking about bombs going off. Interestingly,
no, I
one party who doesn't have
parliamentary language
it's the other parties who have threats.
The other parties
and they still contesting.
Darts at Imran Khan. He's never responded. Now today, for the first time,
okay, why are we getting so belligerent?
With you, right?
We are genuinely. We're not belligerent.
We're passionate about it.
If you got like sort of no energy and you don't want to debate, that's something else.
Can I say a few things?
Please.
About your intra-party elections, Jamat-e-Islami is the
only
pioneer and mega controller. You can't even. Okay, hang on.
Have you ever been in power in Pakistan?
What?
Has Jamaat-e-Islami ever been in power?
But you haven't been either.
Elections since the very start.
But you haven't been either. What does that mean? They've had more power than you have yet.
Jamaat-e-Islami
JI wasn't
cannot
party,
bring
tried.
500,000 people to a
It was,
jalsa.
Yeah, they've had coalition.
They've had
They've been in coalition. Yeah.
But you're not answering my question. Hang on.
I am.
You're on a tangent. They've had inter-party. You can't even tell me who's the Amir of Jamaat-e-Islami right now. Do you know why? Because they elect one.
He's
Who?
dead.
It's a photo.
He's dead.
May he rest in peace. He passed away. For God's sake.
Munawar sir.
Hanji.
Do you know why you don't know? Because they
Because
elect one
they are
every
a
year.
minuscule party. I don't know
Sir,
that.
if I may, see,
Please,
when you're on
Jibran.
television and when the audience is there, it is a great disservice if you tell them wrong facts.
Okay.
First of all, Jamaat-e-Islami give it where it's due. Pioneer in being democratic in terms of intra-party elections.
Absolutely.
Munawar started as a grassroots worker, and he is the Amir of the
I
party.
think everybody did.
And when you talk about mainstream parties, when he talks about, are you able to have tickets from every seat? Maulana Tahir Qadri, 1990 elections, had 270 people contesting from 270 seats. Did he become a mainstream party? But just by putting up tickets, are they really electables? Saying we will sweep and actually sweeping is a big difference. And go to Lahore and go to other areas. Millions of people come and attend Jamaat-e-Islami. There is a following there. They have stood the test of time. They are counting and
Are you
glorifying.
saying that Jamaat-e-Islami is going to sweep the election?
No, I'm not saying that. I am not making any absolute.
I'm saying
I
you
am
can
not
have
predicting the
inter-party
future, sir.
If the
Sir.
elections are going to be fair and honest and without corruption, Jamaat-e-Islami will
Sir.
be having most of the seats where the
I
contestants are
am just
on the
trying to
side.
be
Okay,
fair.
okay.
Hang on. Let me finish.
No, this is important. You said if there's free and fair elections, there'll be
Let
three.
me just
Samra,
finish.
you agree?
No, I don't think anyone.
This
I
is
think
like
I don't
very much
think
different
anyone's
from the
going to be doing any.
Let's
sweeping
take a
here.
comment. Let's take a comment.
Let me just finish.
Okay, it's like, okay, so honestly speaking, I don't think there's any sweeping happening, and there shouldn't be. To be fair to people who are out there and who have been doing, even if it's in pockets, and if they've been doing good for those communities, and the people living in those communities recognize those people, and if Jibran has a nice mandate from any 240, if I'm not wrong,
250 and PS 113.
yeah. So if you're standing from there and if you have a mandate that's correct and people in your constituency actually understand and feel that faith in you, give him that vote and let him win and let him go there and make that difference and prove himself.
Jibran made a very interesting
There's
point.
no argument.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
He said if I win, I will go on the treasury bench. I will join whoever's in power.
No.
I will make a difference.
No. So I
You said you will make a difference to get involved.
I'll align with the government,
yeah,
but
of course.
I would not join it.
No, of
And it's
course.
not going party line.
Yeah.
Just one last thing. One last thing. Merging a
Coalition.
party, coalition.
But his vote will be for the winning party because he wants to be on the treasury bench. He does
Make a
not want to be
difference.
crybaby.
And
He
so that's
wants to
one
work.
other thing. When you say, when you're sitting in the opposition, your only job is to critique. Please look it up and study how the parliament works. In the past 5 years, every single good law which has improved the social fibre of a society has been passed by majority reserved seat women sitting on the opposition benches. There's a thing called in the parliament called a private member's bill, where any particular member in the parliament has a power to put forward a bill. Imran Khan never exercised that power.
This man blows me away.
Regretfully, sir. Regretfully.
Imran Khan was the only dissenting voice in that parliament. In the last 5 years, you've had a friendly opposition which agreed with the sitting.
I thought he started the show saying, I'm not going to defend PTI. What happened to that?
No, because you're attacking it, so you put me in a position that I have to actually turn
Are
the lights
you a lawyer by any chance?
So PMLN and PPP have been two faces of one party.
According to you.
No, what do you mean according to me?
That's your opinion, sir.
Basically,
That's
have they
fine.
served the interests of the people of Pakistan or they served each other's interests?
But Salman, if there was PMLN here and there was PPP,
is PMLN and PPP a honestly serving Pakistan?
Ma'am, you're in coalition. Be careful.
we are not in coalition with any party. Right now, we are not in coalition with any party.
But you have seat adjustment.
Not yet.
Sorry?
They have seat adjustment.
If I
The
may
seat
correct you,
adjustment
just
is
for
with
your
10 parties
benefit.
in Karachi only,
Yes,
not on
yeah,
the federal
sure.
level.
okay? Yeah, but the point is, at the end of the day, as a voter, like someone like myself or someone like Sabeen out here, we're looking at our interests. What are you going to do your party, be it you as an independent, what are you going to do when you go out there on that seat that we give you, that our precious vote?
Whether you're in opposition or treasury.
Wherever you are.
This is the difference.
Okay,
Great
can
question.
I finish?
Yeah,
Then you
please
can-
go ahead.
yeah.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so my question comes back to the same thing. So there are trolls out there on Twitter when we're there who attack us for even asking that question, be it in anything. Like, you know, if you can say like, okay, why did this happen or why did that happen? People come and attack us.
Okay, you opened a
But how do
question.
you know
Hang
trolls
on.
is represented by a certain
Samra
party?
has opened a question,
Yeah.
which I'd like to open to everyone. I'll just
Okay.
word it.
Yeah.
I'll word it in a second.
Yeah.
Sabeen, you were going to ask something.
I forgot to.
But you can't stay quiet. You're the civil society.
But
Speak
I
out.
just want to talk a little bit about what Bilawal was saying, that, you know, we've been depoliticized. And I think what's really exciting at this time, and it's the beginning of a process. You know, this is not so much about who's going to sweep. What's exciting for me as a hopeless romantic is that something is churning.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's on social media, whether it's on ground.
We're talking about it.
We're talking about it. People are engaging in political dialogue. We've not had movements in this country for a variety of reasons, and people are getting out there. So they will go through this process. He will go through this process. Why I'm supporting him and other independents is because they represent hope. They they have courage, and I really
Courage, yeah.
respect that.
Very well, sir.
Right? So they're saying, okay, we're going to go out against all these incumbents, and I'm going to believe in whatever I believe in, and if we join along,
Bottom
then
line,
that's
believe
good.
in
I'll come
faith
to
is in
you.
Pakistan.
Okay, I'd like to make one comment here. Sabeen said very well, the nation is rising. We're talking about it. I'd like to thank PTV here for really letting me do this. This is state TV and
Thank
permitting.
God for the caretaker government.
Not really, not really. I was doing this before the caretaker government.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there is a nation which is rising, and it is demanding certain things. What they are, I think Samra questioned it very well, and I'd like to give it a formal form and then open to all of you, is everybody's asking for votes. You're asking for votes, you're asking for votes, you're asking for votes, and the others asking for votes. Not everyone will sweep. Probably no one will sweep. Arithmetic says no one will sweep. Arithmetic says there will be coalitions. Samra's question was, we asked, what will you do if you get our vote? Now, based on what you said, because Imran Khan is in opposition, so I'm saying, whether you reach the Treasury bill, whether you sit on the opposition, Treasury benches or the opposition benches, you owe your voter a promise. You will have to do something. So I would like to just take one by one, starting with Faiza. Maybe you sit in the opposition, maybe you sit on Treasury, but you will have to pay back this vote that you're asking for, Faiza.
Yes, I think right now it could not be decided whether which party would like to sit in the treasury or in the opposition. But the manifesto of Jamat-e-Islami, as I said earlier in my
No, the manifesto is good. Everyone has a fantastic manifesto.
Yes.
Even he has a better manifesto. But
How
what will you deliver?
We'll pay back. That's
How?
what you are
How
asking.
will you pay back?
How we'll pay back? I think the main issue Jamat-e-Islami is asking for the votes for is to release the country from the pressure of America, the foreign elements which are pressurizing or our lawmaking, our executives, and they want that the laws should be made, or our defense policies or the operations in the North Waziristan and Fatah areas. We would like to we'd like that our lawmakers should work freely and according or under the constitution, the laws.
Okay, may I say something? And I hope you won't be offended. And I don't wish to offend anyone. It is very easy to make fantastical promises when you know you'll never be tested. You'll never come to test.
We have been tested for so many times,
No,
as I
but
said.
screaming "Go America, go" on the streets means nothing. America will not go away just because you're burning effigies of the American president or burning the. They're not.
Yes.
They will not leave Afghanistan and run away from here because you're burning the effigies.
But
So you
we
will
are
have
a
to,
sovereign
the real
country.
way that the world will respect you.
Yes, what we
Okay,
are.
let me invoke a discussion I had on Twitter about 4 hours ago. Young lady in Jeddah where some Saudis misbehaved, and I said, when you abandon your mother, and she said, we're being treated like orphans. I said, when you abandon your mother and let her die, the country, doesn't matter which part of the world you live in, you will not be taken seriously. So if you want to be taken seriously, you will have to rise this nation economically, socially, and he said there's problems everywhere. Morally, religiously, we'll have to rise,
That's what
and then the
I'm
world will
trying
take it
to say.
seriously.
We'll be able to rise until and unless we come out of the pressure of America
No,
or
but
other
no,
foreign.
it's chicken and egg.
Yes,
It's chicken and egg. You will not come out of the pressure of lending agencies.
Until we are able to legislate independently, unless we are able to make our policies independent, whether that is
I
economic.
want to talk about one woman who's really inspired me lately, Viru Kohli. She's an independent standing from Hyderabad. She has a single point agenda. She's bonded labor. She ran away. And her single point agenda is to end bonded labor. Now this is 2013. Access to economic opportunities, more women in politics, security, an end to terrorism. These are huge issues. Here's one woman say, you know, in the 21st century, we can't have bonded labor. You know, it's horrifying. So that's very inspirational. But I'm interested in
an interesting point. Whether she wins or not, she's made a massive statement.
She has made a statement, and you know that is powerful.
I think all these are incidental problems where the main problem is that you are not free to legislate, you are not free to make your policies.
And all these bonded labor and incidental problem.
They are.
It's the mindset that Salman said is the problem. It is the social, moral, religious absence.
The
fiber
problem.
If you ask me the same question that you asked,
because the old people go and sit in the assembly because they're all same old
you can't change it.
So since we are 14 days away from the election, here's what I would say to people. Say, look, for 65 years, you've seen governance. Taken up.
All right.
Okay, and let's not say who it was, but you've seen bad governance. People who made promises and failed on those promises. Now, whoever is out there, there is an opportunity to bring in a government which has been untried. Imran Khan, for the last 17 years, is a man who's argued for better governance, getting rid of corruption, raising the financial budget for education, bringing young people into politics. Now, if a man has been untried and you feel that the rest of the people have failed the country, well, the common sense choice is that you try somebody. Now, it could well be that PTI or Imran Khan fails 5 years. Then you have legitimate grounds to say, Kaji, we tried, we wasted our vote, but that hasn't happened as yet. So that's a hypothesis. Anybody who comes is going to do just the same job that everybody else is doing.
No, that was not my question.
No,
my question is, what if you reach the opposition benches? Then what will you deliver? Nothing?
No.
Criticism?
No.
So
let me
you want to add a question? You want to add a question? He wants to add a question.
My question is that Imran Khan said that he won't be doing a coalition government with PMLN, People's Party, and or PMLQ, right? Is that the case, right? PTI right now has zero presence in the Senate. To pass a law, you need to have some sort of presence in the Senate. So that means for the first 2 years, PTI won't be able to pass a law through the Senate. So I think for a political party,
we're arguing about a hypothesis right now, which is silly.
Yeah.
Just let
me complete. All I'm saying that you need to.
That's an absolute fact. The Senate does not have a single PTI member. It won't for the next 2 years till the election.
Exactly. And that is a plus point for PTI that you have an opportunity for the first time. They have a national movement happening.
But they can't pass any laws.
Perfect.
May 11.
No, but they can't pass laws for 2 years. So what will they do?
The Senate is going to throw everything down.
They do not have any supporters in Senate.
May 11.
Even the US, when the upper house turned, they got stuck.
Let me answer. What they can do in the 2 years before the Senate elections are that they can reflect a leadership which is above board, which has zero tolerance for corruption, which has zero tolerance for abusing women's rights, bonded labor, has zero tolerance for drone attacks. All of this.
But then again, you need to have some presence.
No, he has a point. You don't have to make laws. They will institute the right people.
Better governance. Let me just give you, in the last 5 years,
by assigning the right people.
60,000 Pakistanis have died because of this war on terror. Okay? Because either.
And how will you end this?
सुने ना मैं आपको पहले ये बताने जा रहा हूँ. For any leader, no matter what country it is, the basic responsibility is the life and liberty and property of the people. 60,000 people dying without the president ever having to come and apologize or say, I'm really sorry.
But so never did.
No.
So if I may
Like
give
a-
simple,
But
Let me
that's
sum
what
up.
I'm saying. So the change would be
No.
that you have a leadership which takes responsibility.
Perfect.
If I may sum up,
Taking
Bilawal's point forward.
There's a lot of spring cleaning to do.
Taking his
There's a lot
point
of
forward.
cleaning
I
up
need
to do.
I need to interject. Here. We have to free ourselves from the clutches of America so we can make our own laws. We have to figure out the war on terror. As you mentioned, you have questions. My time's up, but this is not over. You'll see the rest of it tomorrow. I would like to say good night, but can't stay with us.